So someone years ago sold my identity to the music. I think it was Russia. They just went in and took a whole lot of information about my divine light, and so I've got, yeah. It's very hard. I don't know how to explain it. I've got an identity. I've got a mental, like mentally sharp identity that is emotionally in tune. It depends who I'm with. It really does. Like, say if I'm talking to somebody like Anna, I will just be like mentally sparring with her. But if I'm talking to somebody like my cousin Karen, I'll talk to her emotionally. It depends who I'm talking to, and it's not that I've got mental health issues. It's just people are different, like in what they like. She like my I don't like my cousin's changed now. She's a lot tougher, but in her past she was quite timid. Like I was a lot like her, like very timid when I was growing up, and I saw myself in her and tried to be there for her because people were picking on her. When you're with people emotional, it's like going on their level and giving them empathy where they need it. I just at this stage, they've actually stolen my whole legacy, and it's very sad. Like I made this massive Instagram, and it was all about music, and it was all about romance, and it was about my youth, and it was about the feeling of happiness and joy, and it was taking photos of the light dancing upon the the landscape, like the sea and the trees and everything. And I never had problems. I've never been ugly. So for them to carry this on for so long, it really killed a part of me. Like they really are enforcing a lot of abuse in my life that I've never endured in my life ever. Like my mum's a little bit hardball, but once she blows up, it's over. Do you know what I mean? Like she may get angry at me, but it would last at the most maybe 20-minute rant, and then that's it. I'm left and it's over, and she's said what she needed to say, and I've never had to suffer. And this is just a continuous suffering. Not only did I lose the beautiful girl I was, every time I've tried to go back to try and teach people that's not real, they are erasing the past consistently and trying to really enforce this reality that Ruben and Kiki were the greatest love of all, and I'm just nobody. And I'm just saying, well, why are you barricading me from people that I knew to keep hold of something that you've made up about me? That's what's fishy for me and really upsetting, because those were all my family and friends that they've used lawyers and all sorts of things saying we don't want anything to do with her anymore. They don't know what happened to me. I just got evaporated by Japan's toilet sewage, and I think it was Japan, India, and some Thailand Samoan group, and a lot of this drug trafficking thing of China. And I just got basically ruined, and nobody asked me what happened. What happened to me was I got poisoned, and they've left me lonely about that for years because they don't want to have to go to jail. So they're erasing the past. It never happened, so nobody has to do time. But what I've understood in these situations is they're trying to make the world believe that I owe karma, but what's going to happen to these people is this dark energy is going to flip around and follow them wherever they go. So what I'm saying is, no matter what you do, at the end of the day, it still comes back to them. He's filming me illegally like a terrorist on tour, like blackmailing me every day that I've done something bad, like completely getting all these people to psychoanalyze me. It's psychotic. It's very sadistic, it's controlling, it's very much psychopath. And to kind of parade me around as some sort of object to kind of bully in front of my friends. And they have these chats, these social exclusion chats, that my face is really ugly. And I just want to say it's been torture. It's like my face got ruined, and they're still sitting around like treating me like utter shit, exploiting me on photos, torturing me, giving me, they've basically tortured my genitals. They've made me look 80 before my time, and he won't let me die. Well, I just want my right to die. I want my peace, and I want to have my legacy of being a light worker. I don't want to be a dark worker. I didn't want to be a devil. They're just holding me hostage. They're using and using me. It's like not only did I die, they've been raiding my tomb for years and years. So my life okay, Jenny looked like she was kind of like a little bit like Kat Dennings and a little bit like Björk, a little bit same kind of eyes as Björk. And I never had problems with friends. I never had problems. I never had problems. I had problems with trying to figure out how to have a work-life balance with my studies and how to support myself with a dog in a city that was really expensive. But I didn't have many problems. I was a pretty healthy person. I was always approached by people. You can say I looked tanned. I had a very strong personality, but I was very sensitive and kind and shy. And I've just been kind of beaten to a pile of rubble again and again and again till I am not hopeful of my life anymore because they're torturing me. Because for 4 years they haven't given me social support. So that's a form of torture, to deny people aid, starve them. Then they tortured me by making 21 men hot next to me after my face was disfigured and put my photos everywhere. There's a recording of girls saying that the smiley guy was giving away gift vouchers and having these chats with my landlord that my face is really fucking ugly today, about 6 months ago. And then they've genitally mutilated me. I'd have to say there's some rich kids that have been doing something. Like they've actually sent me the killer, but I won't be able to prove it. But I'll tell you, they basically said Ruth and Kiki killed my blood with AIDS, basically. And they said Kayla stole all the credit for all of my work, my CVs, that they watched her take all this credit for all of my designs and all of my work. The really blonde business model that you're all like, wow, that's actually my work that she's taken credit for, all the photography. They were saying they watched her download all my stuff and they said God knows that it was her. There's a group of guys that call themselves gods. And what else did the kids show me? The kids showed me that they were showing that I've got a vagina like a prawn, a pippy, and a big clam dick, and that they'd cut it back until it popped out or something. And something did weird happen to it. And because they send it to you in a cartoon, I didn't save them though. And also they left me a court case outside. Here's where I really started to believe I was psychic. I was walking out of Sweden and I was catching this train and I was standing in queue and I saw this shrine about, dear Nana, dear people, our Nana needs help. The government has kidnapped her. Please help her. And they'd put all these candles around and it was I think it was to kind of teach me what to do, how I needed to appeal to people, and I didn't get it. I wasn't quick enough. I was in a fluster. I was trying to travel. I was trying to find out what I'm going to do. I was actually really worried about my kidneys, and I was standing there and I just had this vision, and my nana came down and said, what they're doing is they're taking away your essence. And I said, what do you mean, Grandma? And she said, there's rooms. There's 3 rooms of your soul, your heart, and your mind. And she said, they're entering people in each of these rooms. And so this must be on tour. They're entering people on these rooms and they're just basically erasing that you are a gentle, kind person and then basically switching your life with somebody that they're saying is a better quality than me. And I just could see that they were putting signs up that I was single and that nobody would want to date me, all this kind of stuff. And these and that's when I realized it was identity theft. And then I realized I've been looking at my immigration letters, doctors' letters. They're not really from real doctors. They're not really from immigration. Somebody else is hijacking my life. And they're writing that they are. Work and income, I can't completely understand because I've got emails that have been sent to different people from the same case manager and letters. But it's a little bit strange because the letters don't have any other work and income letterheads or anything. And same as my doctor's, it's all got dog cam, which is Popcorn, the dog. He's camming me on tour for many years, extorting off me and exploiting and abusing me after I've had my face ruined. And I just want to call it out. It's intrusion upon seclusion, how they've won the people. It's very abusive. Plus, they put all these walls up of this media bullying me. And so they shunned me from culture, and I was left in silence without really knowing what was going on, apart from my angel guides coming through to help me in the situation and these children. I'm not really sure who the children are, because there's a bunch of different children. I think there's some Disney children, I think there's the American children, and then I think there's some church children, and then I think there's some older children that are like massive stars, and I think they've been trying to help me over the time. Some of them like sending me cartoons so I knew what was going on. So they've said that they've made all sorts of things to show me. And the thing that stood out the most was that Ruth and that girl had swapped my blood to be AIDS and to give me common blood. And I'm asking, did they have a court case that she had special blood? Because I believe she gave me AIDS on purpose. And it's not coming up in my normal thing, and it's not coming up in my, these blood tests that you go to the store. It's not coming up there. So I'm waiting for it to come up. I don't think it would lay dormant for that long. I think that it's there. I think something's dodgy's going on. What else? Because I think the hospital should have shown something. I had hospital, what's that called? I went to the hospital to get all these forms, and I said I've got multiple sclerosis. I can't ask anybody for help. It's a death sentence what they've done to me, because what they've done, they're keeping me on the outside, and anywhere I move to, I think my landlord and those boys come in and start putting them into their exclusive group, and they outcast me, and they all work to keep me excluded out of society. It's not a very nice feeling, and it's also, I'm just saying, injustice, because I went overseas to get help in Sweden, and from what I knew, I was being killed in this backlash tunnel underground of all this hatred that I'm dirty and disgusting, and I'm thinking it's the toilet video. So I think they just buried me in this toilet video, and they followed me to Sweden, and then they built, like when I was going for a run, I was running back then, my grandmother showed me this wall, and it was full of blood. And it was all about making me a slut, a dog-faced slut, and a dirty, dirty fucking mutt. And it was all vandalized along this wall. And it was blood. All I saw was red everywhere. And that's when I knew. This is the loneliness I'm getting, because psychically I'm in a lot of pain, because I can see all the abuse and the crime that they're doing to me, but I can't do anything about it. And they've kind of got lawyers blocking that, and I'm being more and more punished the more and more I kind of speak. But I just want to tell you, like, there's some miracles going on, because I don't hear any voices. I don't hear like, hello, I am Ingrid from Iceland, and I have this wise message for you from the other side of spirit. I don't have that. Like, I had some people at Pasha Centre kind of talk like that, and I don't have anything weird like that happen. I just sort of see an image or a colour, or kind of get sort of urged to look in a certain direction. If you are watching this and you've known me in my past, just know I have a right to be free from torture. They've been punching me and blaming me. They got all those boys, those 23 men, to punish me for Kiki and Poppy, I think, punished me for their farm and said that I'm the bitch and I'm a slut, and they've been blaming me as a bitch and a slut for years, and I'm really innocent. I'm allowed to defend myself. I didn't pay hitmen to put you under any situation where your vagina's being brutally tortured. It's a Thailand prison that they put me in down there, and some sort of hummus. I think he's a Thailand king, and he just tortured me and killed me, and I got beaten and my vagina got ruined. Then in this house recently, I got disemboweled, and it made my immunity and all of my indoctrinating system go crazy, and I haven't had any help. It's made me completely wiped out energetically. So what I'm saying is they are trying to take a legacy that is mine by nature, but by killing me off. So before this, Jenny was like a really active, proactive person trying to get a job. I'm really ambitious about my work, and I was really, really trusting person and very, very, very happy. And I didn't need, that's what I'm really happy about, is they're torturing me about, I'm not a Buddhist, but I'm somewhat kind of like that. I like my peace, and I'm very my nature is about going with the flow with things, and they're basically torturing me till I blow up. I'm being angry. They're torturing me that these men are better looking than me. They're degrading me all over the media, and it's double standards. They say be peaceful, but they keep you alone, and they keep you under full control. So every house I move to, they create apartheid in my house, which is a war crime. And they're putting me under umbrella so I'm less quality for the rest of my life. So basically they took my legacy for the rest of my life, and it's very unfair. I didn't even get back on my feet. So they've taken something that I built 2018. 2012 to 2018, I built this foundation, and they just dug it up and gave it to this girl, and she's operating as this person in society now. So I'd found God, and I was a clean, pure person, and I lived on vegetarian food all the time, and I was out walking every day, being very mindful. I had a life of creating healing energy for my life and peace, and I had a few close friends in Auckland that have been erased. I'm being, that whole time's gone now, but I'm just saying when I got to Australia, I found it hard to adjust, and when we moved to Frankston, I liked that house a lot better. It wasn't, apparently, the other house is probably more flash that we lived at, but I liked this house that wasn't as flash because it was cold. It was very hot over there, and it was big and spacious, and there was enough room to kind of relax and watch TV and do your hobbies, and I was like quite happy there, and propagating my garden and making art and clay and just creating and trying to make a business to do with selling stuff at the market, because it caused me so much pain in the public. And I went through this for years, and all my Pinterest shows how much of an adventurous spirit I had. I was always outdoors taking photography of the beauty of the landscapes, and and that's what I don't like. I think my ex has taken credit and given it all to that girl, and it's like, for years he used to kind of not really support what I was doing, and other people were supporting me, and he kind of made me feel like him and Leanne made me feel like they don't support me in it, and yet he's doing it for a living now, I think, and it's just really annoying. Like, him and her are actually doing what I was doing in my past. The same photos, and it's kind of like I definitely had my own hobbies. I know a lot of people do these photos, but when you go into a friend group, I always had a different kind of hobby than everybody else, but they kind of always take it off me and make sure they take all the friends, so I don't have anyone to talk to. So they are always, I feel very controlled by my landlord. I feel very controlled by Ruben. Like, they're always taking over my friend groups, and they're bullying me out of places. Them and, the black rapper group, they're really disgusting. Are they going on in my fucking mutt? Like, I've had this for years, and I haven't been treated with any respect. I've been really degraded, like I'm less quality than everybody because of a money bracket and all sorts of stuff. And it's like my healing work, it was my legacy of nutrition that they stole. I've done all of that for years. Like, I had to heal myself at my own mum's house after they gave me heavy metal toxicity. So what I had to do was, once it goes into your tissues, you need to, now I'm going to get a synthetic thing like DMSO, because they put lead poison in all my tissues. But before, I was using a lot of coriander to open up the cells and then binders like diatomaceous earth to bind up, and then it pulls and leaches out all the toxins out of your tissues, and it made me healthy. And I bought an infrared sauna. I think I spent $300, and his mates were hacking into all my stuff to find out what I was doing every day and copying it, like copying my tiny home that I wanted to buy out in Perth. Like everything I've tried to create for my own security was stolen, and they're keeping me like at a low level, and it's like I've worked very hard for them. Basically, they just keep using illegal hacking and illegal spyware to take things off me, or illegal wiretapping, or illegal footage. Like, I don't consent to my landlord using me on tour, and I don't consent to Kiki using me on tour, or any Japanese people using me on tour. And this toilet video, and I want to know why, or Poppy, because I think that guy, that Korean John guy, was showing a lot of files on this tour. And if you've seen these files, it's a civil war, and it would help me if you could get it to Amnesty. And I just want you to know, like, in that time I was a very, very happy, jovial kind of woman that was full of a lot of, I don't know, I just found a lot of fulfillment in my life and contentment in the little things, and I was joyful, and I really loved word magic. Like, even me and my sister have little spars with this. We had this like game called Word Worm or something, and we were like sparring each other all the time to win these word games. Yeah. So I wasn't just like I was actually a woman full of a lot of light and happiness, and I attracted people to me like moths to a flame. I was always attracting people, and I looked. There's a cleaner in my work in Australia called Marina. I sort of had the looks of her. Like, she looks natural, she's got very beautiful eyes, and she looks quite attractive, but she's not like a supermodel, but she's a cute person. She looks cute, she's got pretty eyes, and that's kind of what I was like. And I was very down to earth, motherly. I loved my family. I loved my domestic life. Like, I really got into gardening, and I really liked my privacy at home and pottering around and being happy doing things around home. And then I really liked going and helping other people in their home. And I'm just around hatred and conflict all the time, and I hate it. It's apartheid. I'm asking to dismantle it. And they're torturing me. You can't give somebody an injection. I had capital punishment of that. Plus, when they first ruined my face, the black family were parading me around with schizophrenia files, and then saying that she's high quality oil and I was trash. But they sadistically did not tell anybody that my face got disfigured. They never told anybody my face was disfigured. I put a lot of roots down in my life to have a very great, fulfilling, content life, to have a very, very nice family life, and to sustain my future generations. The work I was doing was service for other people, for their own well-being, and I didn't want to be. I just didn't want to be like around that. What's it called? Like, in Christchurch in my younger years, a lot of my friends were into dance parties. I didn't want to be around that anymore. I wanted to be like an established career woman. And they've kind of kept beating me down like I'm a kid and won't let me move on with my life. And I'm blackmailed with this tour. And I don't know how to stop it. That makes me depressed and want to kill myself, to know that you're being surveillanced 24 hours a day and you can't get up off the floor. You're continuously kept in a state of slavery. It's like, I can't change my money situation, because it's not only do they blackmail me with all these tapes, they're blackmailing me. Like, every time I've tried to move on with my life in some way and succeed, they give it to people lower than me. And that's where it's just kind of like they're beating my esteem up, basically. And they're saying my internal core is very hard and like a snake, and that's not how I am at all. I've been this woman was basically a very high honourable woman that was like a hierophant that spent a lot of time wanting to guide children to have a great life. And I've got a lot of wisdom for children, I believe. And I've been able to connect to all sorts of different people in my life. I love talking about whatever they want to talk about. Like, I love trying to teach people things. Like, it's really amazing to me sometimes. Like, just, I don't know, like, even like pets. I think I tried to teach my cat to jump over the hose, and it learnt in the end. And I thought it was amusing to me, because it was 5 minutes a day that I'd water my garden, and it was a little bit of amusement every day that this cat would do this, and it was kind of an accomplishment to me that I'd taught this cat to jump over this little bit of water. And it's like the littlest thing that would make me happy and feel happy. Like, this is what kind of a person I was. And I'd buy one of those like greenhouses, and I was filling it up with all my plants every day and taking care of that. And I'd usually have a goldfish tank, and I'd usually have a couple of cats, and I had a dog. And I was a really kind of vibrant person that really got involved with connecting in all sorts of way. And they are keeping me the opposite. Like, I have to be cold, alone, isolated, punished, diseased. I was the opposite. I love health. So no matter what I like, and it's kind of torturing me, because I don't like to eat dirty food. They're giving me food and they're putting plastic in it to make me sick. Like, they're very, very vindictive. Trust me. And they are very, very good at it, because I just noticed all these cans said 7. Not 7, it said 7 West. So that's those angels. It's a company. So that was all my canned food. So it made me know that it's tainted. So I didn't touch it. I read everything now, and I don't take anything from strangers. And if I do, I trial one thing. And if I get a bit sick, then I won't eat. I just threw out about 3 packets of yogurt. It's full of plastic and it's full of ammonia. It's really evil what they're doing. They won't let me have a good life. They put me on a short timer. And I just want to say it's a death sentence, because not only did they capital punish me in the past after my face got disfigured with a toilet video, that's erasing me from that community. Then they basically used TikTok and made a massive revolution that I was this toilet queen. And they've kept me in silence about it all these years. And it's very, very crippling. I've never really gotten to live my life after that. I've lived a half life for France, which I think is Kiki and Brie, and I'm not allowed to have. I live my life kind of like action. Like, I had to make something happen. I would go home, be peaceful, then I'd make shit happen, and I can't. They're blackmailing me all over the place, and it's not a happy life. And that's what I did. I created happiness, and I created opportunities all the time, and I love traveling all over. I've traveled all over New Zealand. And my life was about creating sentimental connections, and creating connections that were about having a cozy conversation. I was about expressing my emotions. I've written a lot of poetry that those women have taken credit for. I wrote a lot of songs and they took credit for it. I am creative. I wanted to learn guitar. I want to sing. I don't want to be a huge singer. I like expressing myself and enjoying myself, and I like other people that do too. Like, some people are really amazing. Some people that you've met, these groups have stolen off me, are kind of like, say if you say Kelly or Rachel, they're not like super, super attractive, but they're like really talented women. If you've seen their art, they're actually really, like, Rachel's a really talented artist, and so is Kelly. And they're actually really interesting people if you talk to them. And, I'm not, like, that's the thing. I like kind of people. I like diversity. And I think that's like what happens when you work in hospitality. You start to talk to all these different people all day, and it kind of becomes like, not an addiction, but just kind of like the norm. If you're not getting enough stimulation of conversation, it becomes very lonely, and that's what my life's become like. It's not by choice. It's blackmail what they've done to me for years. And then I've been used by some model industry where they just brutalized and tested on me and my mum all these aging chemicals. And I've just made these models and used all these friends to kind of promote their brands and stuff like this to make them better. And I don't like it. And I don't like that my ex is in a massive group. I asked him for a job in DJing, so he's made them all DJs. Not me. I needed the job. And it's like, no matter what opportunity I make, these cats take it off me. That's what pisses me off about these cats. It's like they're not originals. They're really sneaky, mean. They're mean, they're aggressive, they hold me hostage with a toilet video, and then they're taking my jobs away and friends. And so it's like, they're saying that they're protecting me, but they're also ruining my life. They're not letting me have friends. They're taking every opportunity that I create for myself. They're also taking the honour, because I made opportunities to meet people to learn how to do tattoo artist work, because I was like, well, they're not letting me work mainstream. Like, no matter what I did, I went to a communication centre in Auckland. I was like, fine, I'll go to... I'm somebody that fixes things. So I was like, fine, I'm going to go to a tattoo thing. So they just bombed all this toilet video all down the street. And then they started bullying me that I was a love joke. So then I couldn't do anything. It's unreasonable. Now I went to a landscaping place and he was going to give me a job, and they went in there and told them that I'm very, very dramatic in the communities, don't hire me. So I'm kidnapped, and I don't like it. It's been a case where people are taking credit for my work, where the kids tell me who the criminals were, and I can't do anything about it. And my legacy of light and love and like an honourable woman that had psychology behind me is gone. Because I did a lot of counselling work, and that's the healing work that I did on myself, to be a better human being. I wanted to be a better human being, and I wanted to be around better human beings, and I wanted to travel the world. And I'm stuck here in feces with really hateful, poor people, which I don't want to, because I had ambition. And so it's like, forgive me, I'm not a suicidal person. I find solutions, but to me, it's going to be a life of misery. It's kind of like building something, and I think something like those Fletcher buildings, I think they built it, and I think the contractor didn't get it done on time, and he lost billions and billions of dollars. It's like that. So I built all this stuff for my life, and I couldn't finish the cut because I got abused. And in that time, I've got these Indians hacking me and finding out all my information and taking credit for it. They've hijacked my spiritual journey of love and kind of framed me as a prostitute. And it's very, very gut-wrenching, because they've got a lot of power and are going to punish me that I'm a fucking liar if I say anything. And I've just had the feds kind of blocking and barricading all the support systems. So you want me to be happy and I can't. I'm in a mindset of like, there's a lot to process about people that have done injustice to me, and I'm trying to understand what I'm meant to do, and it's like they just want me to forget about it, and I'm not going to forget about it. It's a life-changing event. This could have been prevented. They didn't want me to. So every person I called, can you get me a job here? Can you help me here? Can you do this? Can you help me? There's a toilet video. Can you help me find a house? These people are bullying me. They were interfering in my phone. Like, I think India was actually stealing all my friends, and Indonesia, just stealing them out of my phone. Like, going to meet them and giving them money and blackmailing me out of any support systems. And I think the government also blackmailed my family assets and things like this. And I can't prove anything because they've shut down and done a massive apartheid all over the world. And yeah, I don't think my landlord wants to pay for any of the crimes of the toilet video either, because it come out of his house. There was a hard drive where people that were Samoans saw that he had videos of me sexually and were shitting, and it's horrible. It's a gambling network and RICO crimes, and what am I going to do? Like, they've kept me as low oil, but it's like, actually, I've got very high value education. I don't have low value education. if I'm in the right mindset and I have to do intellectual work, I'm really good at it. But there's no point, because what they've done in this community has made me really, really unjustly hated and seen as lower class for $1. And this is what the Samoans are doing. They're keeping me in this book as lower class, and it's really unjust. It's really unfair. Like, they're really doing all this tyranny on me, and it's a crime. Nobody else has this kind of crap going on in their life to stop them going to work. Why do I? And why did I get put to death? Because I called it out. It's like they do, and every solution I do, they sabotage me. I went to Sweden, they just ruined it and said I'm a liar. And so I want to go to Russia. They've already gone over there to barricade it so I can't be free, that I'm going to be in prison. All these bad cops. And so I don't want to keep paying this cop anything anymore. If you got me in a toilet of shit and you want to keep this up for years and years, so you're going to have to like talk about how you're victimizing somebody that just wants to be free. I'm not used to it. I'm used to having liberty. I'm used to going to, if you didn't like me, I would have gone off and met new friends. I'm really good at making new friends. Like, they won't let me do my life, and I'm tired of it. It's really abusive. It's like somebody follows me day to day, keeping me in handcuffs like I'm a criminal. If I go to the library, I'm treated like I'm a criminal. I'm not allowed to see my family. They're kind of alienating me from my family, and they're alienating me from my own heart and self, because they're kind of like making me tortured and punished and bullied for so long. Like, I feel like and they're not letting me communicate and express my emotions and be seen. So it's a very horrible situation for me, and I can't talk to, because they just hack my phone and kind of put it all over the internet. I've been bullied by China for years. Every solution I do, they just come and destroy it, but then they're going around using it like it's their innovation. And that's what I'm really sick of. Like, I don't want to be under this anymore. I don't want to be under scrutiny for 7 years. What is the point of this war? To make sure that every dream I built was about them succeeding in life? I mean, at what stage did I have to be given syphilis and AIDS? Why shouldn't they get punished? Because somebody knows that it's the 7? Somebody knows that it's the 7. Because they wouldn't make a channel saying it's about the 7, and they wouldn't make all these other channels about being called a spiritual savage, and I'm a savage daughter. But I'm not a savage daughter. I was a very feminine woman. That's what they're persecuting me over, a divine feminine path. And I don't know, they're just blackmailing me every day, and it's like, what do you want from me? You've seen it all now. Got right up there, eh? You're such a great person. High quality, this is us. And that's how I feel. I feel like so degraded. I feel like it's not even worth being a human anymore, because it's just kind of like all they're doing is seeing up every orifice of you. It's very dehumanizing. I don't feel like a woman anymore. I just feel like a specimen, and I feel like they keep knocking me out, wanting to look up everything, all these secrets about me, and it's really weird. Like, I don't feel like Jenny anymore. I just feel like a shell of a person that they're beating to death to make sure that they get the kind of the magnetic alluring side of me, because it's not that I just had a side of me that was kind of like kept a lot of, it's not that I was a secretive person, but I saw a lot, but I just kept my mouth shut to not get in trouble, basically, to not cause problems and to just keep out of issues. But it's hard if you've been abused. If you've been abused, you've got to talk. It's not drama to talk. It's a need. It's a necessity, and it's actually healthy. And that's what she's not letting. And I don't know. I'm just kind of making these. If I die, I want my family to see that I really loved them. And I actually I wasn't a loser. I put a lot of time into my businesses, which they've taken credit for. All of them. They've taken credit for my nannying. They've taken credit for my catering, my raw food. Because I wanted to do a raw food truck and deliver it all over Auckland to the corporate companies. And then I wanted to do I think they're traveling to everywhere I wanted to go, because I wanted to go to Mexico to the cenotes, I wanted to go to Greece, and I wanted to go to Hawaii. Hawaii was a big thing for me, and it's all on my Pinterest like years and years ago. And it looks like they're some sort of brand that markets women, because they've hacked me and kind of made a brand that looks like Ruben and his girlfriend, and they've kind of brought me into this shit, and I think it's this teddy, and it's just, I don't want to be tortured anymore. So that's what I want to know. Like, this model industry is just holding me hostage and torturing me, and I don't know why. I just think they're making up all these excuses to be perverted and watch me. Basically, it's so I've got governments watching me, I've got my landlord watching me all the time, talking to everybody that I'm a piece of shit. And it's not fair. It's like you've taken away my right to be a human, to be a woman, to be beautiful, to be happy. I was strong, and I believe what I used to see when I used to see myself in the mirror was kind of like a girl that I loved bohemian. I always used to wear kind of headbands, and I'd wear I'd wear vests with tassels sometimes. I think you can ask Leanne, I had these cowboy boots that had little tassels all over it in my past, and I used to always, I just used to follow the beat of my own drum and wear whatever I wanted in my own. It was kind of like I had kind of a romantic dress sense, and sort of like on that Paramore days, because my sister used to listen to her all the time, and then I ended up like getting into her because my sister loved this girl so much, and then I just started listening to her music, and then I loved it so much. I started loving the same music my sister did, like Muse and Paramore, and who else did she used to listen to? I used to always listen to that song Itchy Goo Park. I used to love that song. And yeah, I just used to be dress kind of bohemian all the time, and I used to really get into, I used to like writing. I used to love watching series. Like, I think I watched the whole True Blood series in like 4 weeks or something. Did I? I think there was like 2 series. So I watched it in about 4 weeks, like 2 weeks per thing. Like, because every night I was at hospo then, and every night I'd come home, I'd stay up all night watching it. And then Thomas would usually turn up and he's like, hey, what are you doing? Because he'd be playing at a bar really late at night, and I'd be like, oh, I'm watching this. And he'd be like, oh, can I come in? I'm really bored. And I'd be like, yeah, okay. And then we'd just sit there talking smack, and I'd be feeding my dog apples. He'd be eating apples. And that would be very amusing to me, that a dog would eat apples, and I just, little things like that made me really happy in life, like really weird things, like a dog eating apples. Like, who has a vegetarian dog? Like, that was what was making me really happy back then, and he thought it was weird too. And then I think he met John Mayer, and he'd written him this note in a diary one day. This is what I remember, him coming really late, and he told me some weird serendipitous kind of story, and he showed me this kind of signature from John Mayer, and I was like, holy moly, how did you meet him? And he was like, oh, I was just like playing at a bar, and he came up and I was like saying this, and I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. And yeah, it was really cool. We had some good chats, and now we're not friends anymore because they've done that vaginal murder. It's just never ending what they're blackmailing me on the tour, and I've never been fixed. Any of the physical damage, the capital punished me all over that I'm not good enough for my ex, and then they got them all hot, and I just feel like I've been against a wall for a long time. It's like somebody is pouring heaps of money and energy into these people to have really successful, amazing lives, and is blocking my goals. So I joined a gym, I joined the Mornington, it's like a domestic violence get fitness group of women. Someone hacks me and blocks it, and I'm seeing that it's the EU, and I'm seeing that Meta, and which is American, and Australian groups are blocking me having my mail. So I've been sabotaged for almost 7 years, and now they've made it so that I can't access what I need. And I don't know if I'm going to see my mum. I'm just waiting to get overseas. But something happens every day. Like, I can't access a letter today, and I'm just stuck again. So I might just clear out anyway. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of this guy, and I'm sick of this apartheid fence that my landlord built with this reports. And it's like, they're going to so they went to John, this guy that was helping me and made a fence, and they've been going to sit with my family. Like, Ruth Cork has actually gone and visited all of my support systems, so she's going through all of my phone stuff, which is illegal. And what does it mean when you call someone a fascist? It is something cruel, arrogance, anti-liberal, the class that is of benefit, and relatively large number of fascist sympathizers. So the sympathy goes to people that are hot. Yeah, that are going after their dreams, but they're not telling the world that they have been working like ruthlessly to stop me doing my dreams. Like, that is ruthless to stop me going to do Mornington Fitness Club, which is way over in Australia. There was no one that would have seen me. I wanted to do it myself over there because I wanted to get healthy. I wanted to meet other women that have been battered, and they won't let me connect with anyone. And that's what's like, what's the dealio? What do you want from me? It's like you're holding me hostage. You just use me as some sort of pincushion and ruin every part of me that was beautiful and pure. You've ruined and degraded me. You've tortured me. You're making these walls, making me ugly. And you've made so much meanness. You're just all mean about a woman that got her face ruined. And you won't stop. You're making me Halloween. You're getting people that are got a lot more money, and you're just bullying me. It's capital punishment that she's more and that I'm a whore. Videos, capital punishment that I'm nappy shit queen. Like, getting angry at me for melting down in my room and saying, oh, she's so strange for melting down over Nadia and Ruben. So why are those two meeting all my friends and creating a Tiffany club where Lucy is getting money? Because somebody else tipped me off that somebody gave me a book and I threw it out. It was a book, and it was about the orange cat selling my vagina at a fruit shop, and which is Brendan selling my vagina. And that Lucy Hunter was doing money laundering with cheese and putting it under in a house. They're building all these apartments and tiny homes, and they've been hiding and money laundering all this money underground. So here's all the secrets that I knew and I got told, and that's probably why I got injected with AIDS, to silence me forever. I'm here to tell you there was a lot of punishment and cruelty, and Jenny is not that person in that wall. Jenny was a beautiful woman that got victimized. They gave me forever chemicals so that I look white, like really plasticky white, not normal. And it's not fair what they've done to me, and they're all bullying me, which is illegal. All this tour is illegal. So he really loves bullying me. He's got some sort of sadistic pleasure out of following me to home, making some sort of power struggle with me. And it's like, if he tells me where the camera is, I'll be like, hi, and they're getting together and saying nobody wants her. And that's what he's doing. He's holding all these shows that I'm 99-cent bike and making me outcast. And I'm like, well, where's my compensation? You've tortured me and ruined my face for all your models, and I look fucking ugly, and I wasn't born ugly. I should be beautiful, and they've really tortured me. Who makes somebody's skin plastic and ugly before their time? And he's like, they're all in a massive mob group going, ha ha ha, Rusty. But so why can't I go back to my family? For somebody that's like been support, a person that loves support in a nucleus family that's full of love, I've got no support, and I'm absolutely hated and tarnished in reputation. I want to know why they've done this whole war. What was the point of it? To take over everything that I've ever built? Like, why did they do it? And I want proof about this rabbit-proof fence that she's more. Like, they just drowned me in this river of racism, and it's British slavery. Like, why did they do it to me? Because I used to be beautiful, and they're really making a point that I think this is what scares me about this cult. They're really sadistic. At one point, they were texting me anonymously, like, know your place, and you're going to be ugly forever. And I'm just like, somebody is very, very jealous of the way I used to look, and has really gone out of their way to ruin me. And I just that's my testimony. They've tortured me, they've ruined my vagina, and they've really ruined it and tried to make me look like a dirty person, and I never was. I never did AIDS, anything like that. I never did needles, I never did anything. My cooking's pretty high class. That's pretty like high-end cafe work. Like, it's not like shitty, like slummy cafes. I worked at some nice cafes in my life, and I've also didn't just live in. I worked in graphic design for 12 years. I've worked in some really, really awesome buildings as offices. You know that, right? And I've also like traveled all over the world working for all these organizations. And I've worked in Telstra Clear. You had to be clean to go to there. I was wearing blazers every day, and I'm still not nice. They're putting. This is what they're doing to me. Can you see that? I don't have skin problems. I'm Irish. I'm Irish and Chinese. They're injecting me with like all this stuff to make me ugly. I'm really tired of it. It's some woman. I think she's Samoan because they really get a lot of fungal problems, and they know all about thrush and vaginas smelling from bacterial problems. So I don't know why they just seem to get it. Probably because of the soap or something. I don't know, but they do because I've had a lot of Samoan friends, and they're trying to make me this ugly, smelly, fishy person, but it's like I wasn't before. But all of my medical reports are saying I've got a lot of bacterial and fungal problems, and I'm tired of being filmed in my room. Like, I don't want to be filmed in my room. I don't consent to it.